Hi guys, it's Chris here, and it is once again new shoe day, but it's not just one new shoe day, it is two new shoe day. I just can't seem to help myself. So we've got a big box and we've got a little box, and let's do the big one first. We have in here, a pair of the Nike Zoomfly 4s in this very, very cool black and rainbow color swoosh and on the foam. Just looking really, really cool there. Let's get the other one out. Okay, that's what's inside box number one. Inside box number two, let's have a look. Well, it's going to be fast because we've got the track and field bag. And it is a pair of the Nike DragonFlys. So these are the Nike 5 and 10K track super shoes, which Joshua Cheptegei's just used to break the 5, I think 10K world record. And you can see that they've got this nice, this one to show you, this nice big chunk of the ZoomX foam underneath. I've been wanting to get a pair of these for quite some time. I've been doing more track work recently. I do have a pair of track shoes that I probably should be running in, but I just thought, why not treat myself? I also do get some Achilles issues, and I've noticed that if I run in the shoes with the ZoomX foam, although it's more expensive, I do seem to get less irritation of my Achilles. So I'm hoping that when I take these to the track tomorrow for our track session with the club, it's going to be comfortable and it's going to be very, very fast. But I'll do a review of these, or a first look and a review of these later. Today it is all about the Zoomfly 4, so let's put these away and take another look at our Zoomfly 4. So I've been wanting to pick up a pair of these for quite some time. I've actually run in several pairs of the Zoomfly, not this particular iteration. The first pair I had, which I've still got by some miracle, was the Zoomfly Flyknit, I think it was called. I'm pretty sure this was the second version of it, which came out at the same time as the Vaporfly 4% Flyknit, which was the second iteration of that. And you can see it's got this Flyknit sock material on it, kind of stretchy material. And I picked up a pair of these because I had the Flyknit 4% for my first marathon, which was Manchester. I think that was back in 2019, and I wanted a training shoe to go with it, and so these were the obvious choice, and I picked them up, and I absolutely loved running in them. You can see it's got the pentagon patterns on the bottom of the tread, and you can see that I've kind of just worn through it almost. You can tell what my foot strike is. Really love these, really great to run in. The next pair I got was the Zoomfly 3, which, to be honest, I just really didn't get on with that much. I felt like there were some changes to it that just didn't really work with my foot. Still see I got a good deal of wear out of it from where I've worn through the rubber, but there was a move towards the tread pattern that's on the bottom of the Vaporfly 1s and the Vaporfly 2s, and it's the same tread pattern that's on here, thereabouts. Yeah, I really didn't get on with these. There's kind of this inner sock and then an outer covering. And I could just never really get the kind of lockdown feel I wanted. I always felt like my foot was moving around and I got hot spots. And in fact, you can see just how tight I've tried to do the laces up here to get that lockdown feel. And I just felt the way this all worked with these kind of thick elastic bands that are supposed to help lock it down just really didn't work for me. But onto the Zoomfly 4, I did actually pick up a pair of these in black. And I had one or two runs in them, but then my partner decided that she would quite like to try them out. We're luckily for her, perhaps unluckily for me, we're similar size foot. So she has now inherited my old pair of Zoomfly 4s, which she uses for her park runs, setting PBs pretty much every week. And I was left without a pair. So I went without for a while, but I decided enough's enough. I want to give them a try. And I want to use them as effectively a training partner to the Vaporfly Next Percent 2s. And yeah, I'm really excited to give them a try. I've been doing quite a lot of training in the Tempo Next Percent, which I've got here. This, of course, is the training partner to the Alphafly. So I got a pair of these when I bought my Alphaflys, because I was using the Alphaflys to run the London Marathon, and then I've just done Manchester Marathon. And I think, you know, having run in both the Alphaflys and the Vaporflys, the Alphafly is just such an amazing marathon shoe. Once you get into that pace, you just go and go and go. And so I wanted a training partner to get the feel of how this would work. These obviously have got the same zoom pod in the front of the foot, exposed zoom pod. I did actually have another pair of these, but one of these zoom pods burst on one of my runs. They're very squeaky anyway, even this pair is quite squeaky. I've put about 220 kilometers into these now, I think, and there is a definite squeak when I'm running, but I noticed on a run with the previous pair that it sounded like there was a cricket following me, and it was only when I realized that the cricket was chirping in time with my foot strike, and I looked down and this bit was completely compressed. So they were sent back, but I gave them another go, and luckily these ones have held up. But I'm really interested to have a look at comparing the Zoomfly 4 with the Tempo Next Percent. Just in the hand, the Tempo Next Percent is a little bit lighter. The Zoomfly 4 comes in at, I think it's 256, 257 grams in my size 7. So it's a little on the heavier side for a speed shoe. But I did find that with the original Zoomfly that I had, the Zoomfly Flyknit, that I was able to run tempo in it. And, you know, one of the things that attracts me about it is we don't have that exposed zoom pod in the front, so there's nothing really. I did wonder whether the zoom pod blew up because I got a stone in there or something, or it got caught on something. So here everything's contained within, and we've got that React foam, quite a big chunk of React foam to help us along. So it has got a carbon plate in it as well as the React foam, so we should get that nice rocker motion keeping us stable as we run. So I'm really looking forward to giving these a go, and I'm going to go and give them a run now and give you my thoughts.
The first thing I noticed about this shoe is just how comfortable it is on the foot. I was able to get a really secure fit without strangling my feet by pulling the laces super tight, so none of the problems that I had with the Zoomfly 3, and a really big improvement there for me. I've been doing a lot of running in the Streakfly with its ZoomX foam underneath, and the ride on the Zoomfly 4 is definitely firmer, but that's to be expected. And in fact it translates into quite a nice bouncy ride. And with that carbon fibre plate underneath, there's a real feeling of being pushed forwards as you toe off. I'm not sure if I'd be picking these up for a long, easy run, because they really do want you to pick up the pace and go fast. The out and back route that I ran today is uphill on the way out and then downhill on the way back. And I felt really good going uphill, better I think than I do in the Tempo Next Percents. The Tempo has, of course, those two big zoom pods exposed at the front, and I always feel like I get a bit too much compression from those and lose energy when I'm heading uphill. The Zoomfly 4 gave me just the right amount of resistance, and I felt strong pushing up the few short hills. When I did turn around to head home, I had about 4 kilometers of gentle downhill to go, so I sped up to about threshold pace, which is around 3:30 per kilometer for me, and they felt really good when pushing the pace like that. Despite being a little on the heavy side, they don't feel heavy on the foot, and I wonder if that's because of that big chunk of React foam bouncing me along. It felt really easy to hit and maintain that pace, though of course I was mostly going downhill. I did this run in the dry, but I had no issues with stability, and I can't see there being any issues with grip. I'd probably take this shoe on roads, canal paths, or very light trail, but only if it was dry. All in all, this was a really fun run, and I think these are going to be a really fun shoe to run in. It's a shoe that wants you to push the pace a little, and that rewards you for doing so with that bounce from the React foam and the carbon fibre plate.
Okay, so that is just under 9 kilometers done at 4:17 pace. Really fun run in the Nike Zoom Fly 4. First impressions are that it's just going to be a really fun shoe to run in, and I can definitely see myself grabbing this when I want to go and do some threshold, when I want an up-tempo run. I think running easy in it is probably going to be quite difficult because it does just want you to run fast. That carbon fibre plate is just going to push you forward, and you've got this nice big chunk of React foam that's giving you a good job lot of bounce as you run. So yeah, really cool shoe. It retails at the minute at about £150, I think £149.95 on the Nike store. I got these in the spring Nike sale, so they were 25% off, so they came in at £112 for me. At £150, I think there's a really interesting question, and I'm going to bring out my current favourite at the minute that I just keep going on about, the Streakfly, because these are on at £135. So if you've got them in the sale with 25% off, I can't do the math in my head, but you're going to be looking at them coming in around £100. And these possibly just give you much more for your money than the Zoom Fly 4 does, because you've got the Zoom X foam in them. You've not got a carbon plate, but you've got a Pebax plate running through it, and I still feel like I get that propulsion from them, and they are just so fun to run in and so comfy to run in. But nonetheless, Zoom Fly 4 still is going to remain a really interesting option, and what's going to be the biggest point for me to look at is how they hold up, how the durability holds up on the two shoes. I think I've put about 50 kilometers into the Streakfly. Obviously that was first run in the Zoom Fly 4, but I'm expecting that this with the React foam is going to hold up a bit longer. The one thing I do worry about though is the outsole, because there doesn't seem to be a huge amount of rubber on here. Now hopefully that will hold up, but certainly in those other pairs that I had, you saw I wear a hole where my foot strike tends to hit. So, we'll just have to see how it holds up, and I'll do another full review at around 200 kilometers. But other than that, that's all for today. Thanks guys, see you later.